Today on X-Play. It's the 63rd most glamorous night of the year.
Down he goes!
As X-Play presents its awards for the best games of the year. Polish your statuettes. It's game time. Please welcome your hosts for this evening, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
2005 was an amazing year for games, and we're here to celebrate the very best.
Yes. Do you see this hair? This is awards show hair. This took 3 hours and an extra Korean lady to put together. This is a night of majesty and wonder.
But mostly it's a night of clips of the few magical games we enjoyed playing this year. So let's get on to the first award.
Action. It's the thing that happens when things are moving.
Adventure. It's what happens when you solve a series of puzzles by moving boxes and clicking on things.
Action and adventure? That's what happens when someone has the poor judgment to get in the way of Chuck Norris. It's also our first category. Here are the nominees for Best Action Adventure Game.
The nominees for Best Action Adventure Game are God of War, Resident Evil 4, Shadow of the Colossus, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, Castlevania: Dawn of Sorrow.
And the winner is Resident Evil 4.
When we first heard Resident Evil 4 would be 100% zombie-free, we didn't know what to think. But once we got our hands on it, it was love at first fight. By adding quick-time events and blockbuster action set pieces, this title transforms the long-running survival horror series into the action powerhouse it was destined to be. Now that's an action game. As if that weren't enough, the tender relationship between Leon and Lewis makes this the Brokeback Mountain of action games.
A little rough, don't you think?
Aw, you two.
You know, I didn't think that they could pull off a zombie-free Resident Evil, but this game proved that nothing is scarier than the Spanish.
They were so much faster than zombies. It was almost like they were racing.
Is that the best segue you could come up with?
Yeah, we couldn't afford to get Bruce Vilanch to punch up the script this year. Fat gay guys are surprisingly expensive. Luckily, we did find a bisexual with a thyroid disorder who was willing to work for used N-Gage games.
You want to know what fat gay guys love? Speed. The rush as you turn a corner.
Yeah.
The satisfaction of jackknifing a semi.
Truly, racing games are one of the types of games that people play. Here are the nominees for Best Racing Game.
The nominees for Best Racing Game are Forza Motorsport, Burnout Revenge, Mario Kart DS, Project Gotham Racing 3, Gran Turismo 4. And the winner is Mario Kart DS. Mario is known to have a whimsical love for a variety of zany sports. But if there is just one that pudgy plumber happens to excel at, it's definitely racing. Sure, Mario Kart DS may not be the best-looking racer, but this is by far the prime example of how good gameplay is far superior to good graphics. Thanks to the inclusion of Nintendo's Wi-Fi capabilities, the Mario Kart series has gained new luster by its Nintendo DS installment and speeds into first place.
I think it says something really significant that all the gorgeous console titles lost out to a little handheld game that's easy to pick up and play with.
Speaking of things that are easy to pick up and play with, please welcome Gay Cowboys.
And the nominees nominees for Best Fighting Game are...
I wish I knew how to quit you!
The nominees for the Best Fighting Game are Soul Calibur 3, Dead or Alive 4, Tekken 5, Darkstalkers Chronicle The Chaos Tower, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
After taking a finisher like that, he tagged his partner.
And the award goes to Dead or Alive 4.
It's good to see one of the next-gen games finally living up to its promises. Team Ninja revitalizes the series by rebuilding the counter system from the ground up, tweaking existing characters, and adding in new content that's not merely a rehash of previous installments. From the destructible environment to the cherry blossoms floating through the air, DOA 4 leaps beyond previous graphical benchmarks. Add in Xbox 360's online component, and you have the best fighting game of the year.
Congratulations, DOA 4. For the sake of appearances, we'll pretend like you were something other than a best out of a bad crop of fighting games this year.
You know, like the way they pretend Hilary Swank deserves her Oscars.
In a moment, the awards for Best Platform, Best RPG, and a short film celebrating racist 14-year-olds on Xbox Live. G4. Direct from the X-Play Academy of Sarcasm Arts and Sciences, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2005 Awards. Every January, X-Play begins the award process by sending ballots to gaming journalists.
At least we always intended to. This year, not so much. So the awards were just decided by 5 people yelling at each other in a small room.
And if you take a small room and you remove the walls and the ceiling, what have you got? A platform. The language of platforms is international. From observation decks on whaling ships to the flats of Lothlorien, everyone loves platforms.
Platforms are also a key ingredient in platformers.
This year's platformers were zany and original.
That's right, Morgan. You might say this year's platformers went psycho nuts.
Here are the nominees for Best Platformer.
The nominees for Best Platformer are Sonic Rush, Kirby Canvas Curse, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, Psychonauts, Lego Star Wars. And the winner is Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves. In an era of high-concept games, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves focuses on what should be the primary focus every time: fun.
Chug, oh, look!
And in that regard, it delivers in goofy abundance.
Yes!
A thoroughly silly yet naively touching story strings together what could be the most varied gameplay ever. It never ceases to surprise, even as you sadly reach its inevitable conclusion. This may be the gang's swan song, but it just whets the appetite for what's to come.
Yes! The Cooper Gang rules the roost.
Games allow us to travel the world from the comfort and emotional trauma of our own homes.
And no genre allows us to play more roles than the role-playing game.
Here to present the award for Best RPG, please welcome Patrick Stewart and Magneto.
This year's nominees represent achievement.
George Bush hates black people.
Here are the nominees. The nominees for Best Role-Playing Game are Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, Animal Crossing Wild World, Dragon Quest VIII, Jade Empire, X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse.
I'd run if...
And the award goes to Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2.
So, you're hungry, Gale? Wanna eat me?
It's hard enough to produce one good RPG a year. Creating 2 is nothing short of a saving throw. Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga begins with a group of teens, a flash of light, and the demonic urge to devour your opponents. Part 2 picks up the bloody pieces the first one left behind. Digital Devil Saga rips apart the standard fare by mixing in strategy with every battle, along with a look all its own. Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 lands a critical hit on our RPG sensibilities.
I'd like to learn more about the Shin Megami series. Maybe I should consult an internet.
Well, Morgan, while you're on that information superhighway, you might want to play a game.
Oh.
Online.
Yes, the internet has revolutionized the way we play games. It used to be if you wanted to listen to offensive comments while you played an FPS, you had to own a laptop or live in rural Western Kentucky.
But thanks to the internet, at this very moment, thousands of teens are in Xbox Live lobbies, calling each other homos.
Thank you, Internet, for giving new life to hate speech. Here are the nominees for Best Online Game.
The nominees for Best Online Game are Guild Wars, Battlefield 2, Mario Kart DS, Perfect Dark Zero, City of Villains.
And the winner is Battlefield 2.
The idea is simple. Let people do what they want. That simple idea, which made the first Battlefield a bestseller, is back in Battlefield 2. It takes more than a fresh coat of paint to get you and 63 of your closest enemies to play online for hours at a time. Battlefield 2 lets you pick your role in this worldwide war while making every battle completely different from the next. War isn't hell. It's our online game of the year.
Noob Killer 55404 couldn't be here to accept for Battlefield 2 because he's currently respawning, so we accept on his behalf.
Well, since it's a shooter, we could accept it on his behalf live. Oh.
I want to die.
After the break, Best Shooter, Best Sports Game, and a musical tribute to resource management.
Or, this ain't...
Once again, two people who actually dressed up for this. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's Best of 2005.
Tonight's broadcast is being seen by over 30 people in nearly 2 countries. So now we go via satellite to our next presenters.
Hello. We're here to present the nominees for Best First-Person Shooter. You know who I am?
Hey!
I'm Mark David Chapman. I killed Lenin. I killed the god. You'll remember that, won't you?
It takes more to make a great shooter than flashy graphics and a lot of weapons options. What are you looking at?
Adam Sessler is a He used to stand for something. Now he's just a tool of the corporations. Someone's got to teach him a lesson.
You're making me uncomfortable. I don't even know why I'm presenting this award. I didn't kill anyone. I was just a patsy for the CIA. Oh!
That was for Jackie. And the nominees for Best First-Person Shooter are...
Fear, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2, Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, SWAT 4.
And the winner is Battlefield 2.
Like all good sequels, Battlefield 2 takes everything that was great about the original and brings it into the modern era. We're not just talking cutting-edge artillery here. The graphics and audio have gotten a 21st century overhaul as well, making for one hell of a war. Add in massive 64-player battles, and it looks like we'll be fragging noobs well into 2006.
Adam, if you're looking for a good strategy error, teleprompter has overheated and should be powered down immediately.
That's right, Morgan. Here are the nominees for Best Strategy Game. And the nominees for Best Strategy Game are Civilization 4, Advance Wars Dual Strike, Luminous, Age of Empires 3, Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion, And the winner is Civilization 4. Sid Meier, you genius bastard. You've given us a game so addictive, Velvet Revolver Scott Weiland is banned from going anywhere near it. In this fourth Civilization turn-baser, Civilization comes alive as only a gamer could make it come alive, using everything from religion to farming to bloodshed to the Khan family to whatever seeps out of your lazy brains. Building up and bringing down world borders has never been so much fun. And with the addition of the king, you can indeed build this civilization on rock and roll. What puts this one over the top is 2 words: Leonard Nimoy.
Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day.
Sure, Spock, but give him Civilization 4, and he'll never leave his computer again. You know that Otto von Bismarck is quite a sport.
Funny you should mention sports, Adam. Games about sports exist, and those games are a ball.
Here are the nominees for Best Sports Game.
And the nominees for Best Sports Game are World Soccer Winning 11 8 International, NBA Street V3, Fight Night Round 2, MVP Baseball 2005, NBA 2K6.
It looked like he should have never taken that.
And the winner is MVP Baseball 2005. Baseball. Some senior citizens call it our national pastime. What with its drug-riddled teams, egomaniacal owners, greedy players, and fair-weather fans, how can we not call MVP Baseball 2005 the best sports game of the year? Better pitching, better hitting, a deeper owner's mode, and all the players that will eventually break your hearts. Heck, if Jason Giambi can win Comeback Player of the Year, why can't MVP Baseball 2005 be the sports game of the year? Well, it is Game of the Year, and we're proud to say so. Welcome back, baseball. We forgive you this time, and we look forward to you breaking our hearts real soon. That's what baseball's really about.
Gone.
Yes, America's pastime. Alcoholism and boredom.
And human growth hormone.
When we return, it's Best Original Game and the coveted statuette for Game of the Year.
Every weeknight at midnight, this parade of deplorable shows begins. Do not watch Barbed Wire Biscuit. Take Cinematech, nocturnal emissions, animated filth, and pixelated pornography. Repulsive, and it only gets worse. Do not watch Barbed Wire Biscuit tonight at midnight on G4.
You're watching G4, the #1 podcasted network in America.
Wall-to-wall game reviews.
Always expect the unexpected. Go to iTunes or G4TV.com for details.
Screw the Tonys. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
To present our next award, please welcome Drunk Link and the Merchant from Resident Evil 4.
I can barely remember back when I was an original character.
Is that all, stranger?
Who you calling stranger?
What are you doing?
Here are the nominees for Best Original Game.
The nominees for Most Original Game are God of War, Psychonauts, Guitar Hero, Nintendogs, Shadow of the Colossus. And the winner is Psychonauts.
My name starts with a D. Is Rasputin.
Calling Psychonauts original is selling the game a little short. From the moment it begins, there's very little that feels familiar. A super surrealistic art style that evokes Chuck Jones on mescaline. Yes, it's a platformer, but its execution sure doesn't evoke Mario or Ratchet. In fact, there's nothing like its gameplay. It's nothing short of criminal that the game didn't receive the attention it deserved, but that makes it no less original and no less deserving of another attempt to jump back into a new version of Tim Schafer's malevolent psyche. This brings us to the highlight of our evening, the greatest honor X-Play can bestow, Game of the Year.
Tonight, we are here to award those games which have climbed to the highest heights of video game highitude.
These are the nominees for Game of the Year.
The nominees for Best Game of 2005 are God of War,
The gods came to me, told me their champion would come and rescue us from the Hydra.
Battlefield 2, Guitar Hero, Resident Evil 4, Shadow of the Colossus.
And the winner is Resident Evil 4.
Bursting forth like Athena from Zeus's brow, Resident Evil 4 didn't just revitalize the series, it changed gaming as we know it. No other game in 2005 came close to achieving RE4's Brobdingnagian heights of perfection. With pitch-perfect gameplay, boss battles that redefine the word epic, and a panoply of pee-your-pants moments, Resident Evil 4 stands as a shining example of what video games can and should be. That's why Resident Evil 4 is X-Play's best game of 2005.
Accepting on behalf of Resident Evil 4 is the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Thank you. What are you buying? What are you selling? What are you buying?
Well, we're running long. Good night, and God bless.